Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Talk About Sleep. You know the book, Let's Talk About Sleep. The Amazon link to this is in the description box down below. As we inch closer to 1,000 subscribers, a lucky viewer at random will get a signed copy of that from yours truly. And as I always say, these videos are for education only. Now, let's talk about today's topic, which is, what are some things we can do before bed that are not screen time, right? So, what do I mean by screen time? So, anything that has a backlit display, a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, e-reader, a Kindle in some cases, okay? Anything that you can see without external light, okay? So, if you need to have a light on, like this light I have right here above me, to read it, then it's not really what I'm talking about. And a lot of the readers, like the Kindles, for example, they'll have that paper appearance to it, which needs an external light. That's probably okay. But what I'm talking about are computers, iPads, iPhones, so on and so forth. Doing those things or using those things before bed, what they do is they emit blue light, okay, blue frequency light, which I've talked about in other videos on this channel. What that does when blue light comes to our eyes, it tricks the brain and it makes melatonin get shut off. Now, melatonin, as you know, is a hormone the brain makes to tell us it's time to go to sleep. So if we have any trouble with sleeping and we're working against that by using blue light right up to bedtime, sleep troubles may occur, okay? Insomnia may occur. So what can we do instead? Well, what I recommend people do is 30 to 60 minutes, maybe even longer, before bed is trying to avoid blue light devices, okay? Now, some people say, well, my device has a blue filter on it and it makes it shift towards red, so there's not as much blue light coming in. There's some literature that suggests it doesn't even work, so what I would say is let's do other things, right? Instead of screens, let's just do other things. What are we talking about? Well, reading on paper, for example, this, okay? Reading on paper would be fine. Meditating. Okay, mindfulness or guided meditation. If you watch this channel, you know I believe very strongly in meditation, okay, and that can be a great thing to do, not for an hour, but maybe 10, 15 minutes before bed. That would be great. Listening to soft music, listening to a podcast, listening to a video such as this without the screen, right? You can listen to this with just the audio. That would be fine, okay? You know, you don't want it to be something that's going to get you all riled up, of course, but something that's going to just get you into a relaxed state. You know, like I said, soft music, classical music, that kind of thing. You don't want to listen to, Metallica necessarily before bed because that'll get you ramped up, but you get the idea. These are all things you can do before bed, okay? So what I recommend to patients do is, you try to get some exercise in the morning, and then maybe an hour or two before you get to bed, you start to wind down if you can. Okay, so sure, you can continue to watch the TV as you brush your teeth and do all that stuff and stop drinking water based on the last video I did. But then an hour before bed, that's when maybe you shut off all the screens. Okay, maybe you start to play some soft music, or you start to read, okay, on paper. Ideally, maybe on the couch or the kitchen table or so. And then maybe like 15 minutes before bed, maybe you sit at the edge of the bed or you sit in a chair outside of the bed and you do some meditation, okay? And then you get your mind really into a relaxed state, and then you get into bed, and at that point, you're really doing what nature is intended, which is you're giving your eyes a rest, you're not getting blue light, and your body knows it's time to fall asleep. In nature, right, and actually there's been some studies on this, where actually there's a really interesting one where this guy, this researcher took his graduate students out to the wilderness for 2 weeks. So they had no TV, no computer, no smartphone, nothing. Okay, just them and nature. And what they found was these people were able to fall asleep pretty shortly after the sun went down, and they woke up when the sun rose. They felt better. They felt more refreshed. Okay, so they weren't kind of inundating themselves with this blue light. All right, I mean, that's an extreme example, but the principle behind it is that when we're in this day and age, we're kind of giving ourselves social jet lag is the term that's been developed, which is basically from all the input we get from our devices, it's keeping us awake later. Okay, so again, that's an extreme example, but you want to just take that for what it's worth. Okay, so give your eyes a rest, give your brain a rest, let melatonin do its thing, shut off the screens 30 to 60 minutes before bed, and do one of these other things. And until next time, sleep well.